Hello and good morning. Just a gentle reminder to silence your cell phones, please. Put them to night-night. And then, as you are able, join Andres and myself for a rousing, spirited edition of Spirit-Led, Spirit-Fed.
Hello, welcome to Unity Center of Peace. I'm Rev Victoria, Loveland-Coen, and to my left is the wonderful Maria Kavanaugh, who is, she's been wonderful this month, right? She's stepped up to lead the meditation and be the service leader this month. We love her. Yeah.
Thank you. A little messy, but it's okay.
No, it's
working
great.
On it. Yeah.
It's great. We want to say hello to those of you joining us online, on YouTube, Facebook. Thank you for being here. If you would just say a quick hi, I'm here, then we feel like we're connected together. All right, let's take a nice deep breath together. And as Maria lights the Divine Light candle, I would ask you to say with me the opening invocation, which is on that buff sheet in the seat back in front of you, if you are not yet familiar with that. And just take a moment and really connect in your heart center. Together, there is only one presence and one power active in the universe and in my life. God, the good omnipotence. Really breathe that in, feeling the energy of that infinite love, that universal peace right here in the center of this building, in the center of your being, radiating out, and together we amplify it, we multiply it, and it radiates out. And so it is.
So it is. Thank you. If you could please silence your phones if you haven't already, that would be great. I surrender. I trust and I know as I surrender. I love that song. I invite you to take a couple of breaths. And as you inhale, at the top of your inhalation, I invite you to hold that breath for just a couple of seconds. And then on your exhale, drop into your chair and invite your exhalation to be just a little longer than your inhalation. In this fourth week of studying abundance, what does it take to bring abundance into our lives? We're coming to understand that it's actually an inner journey. We're coming to understand that the abundance is there, it's here. But our life experiences, our beliefs, our stories, our wounds, our history, these things embed themselves in us. And so that's the story we tell. And that makes the abundance, in whatever form we're talking about, harder to come by. So today, I'm going to invite you with your breath to just sit with some of these words and phrases. As we inhale, I am. And on an exhalation, worthy. I am. Inhale. Exhale, grateful. I am grace. I am compassion. I am wholeness. It's right there. I am calm. I am peaceful. I surrender. If any of those phrases resonate with you, I invite you to use your breath and inhale and exhale into that phrase. As we go into the silence, now you may choose to just watch your breath, and that's perfect too. But we move into the silence now and embody the quality that we need to reach and find our abundance. And when your mind wanders, come back to your breath, come back to a phrase if you're using one. slowly take another deep breath and exhale together. And we invite the people close in our hearts, the situations in the world, into this circle of love, of gentleness, of surrender. And if you feel called to say these names out loud, you can do so now, or you can just say them in your mind. And let's hold today, especially as our neighbors across the road, the kids and the teachers and all the support staff get ready to come back to school tomorrow. We're grateful that we're able to offer a small number of these kids a place to park and ease and comfort in this area. And for those who we can't support because we just don't have the space, let's send them love, that the solution will show up for them tomorrow morning. And for all the people in our prayer box who need some loving support for their health, for their careers or their income, for their abundance or prosperity, for healing, spiritual healing, we hold them in love and in this circle of compassion and grace. And when you're ready, we can gently open our eyes, start to wiggle little parts of our body if we've been still. And over heart, we say, and so it is. So this is now our time to share our vision and mission with each other. So again, if you want to keep your hand over your heart, that's lovely. And for those visiting, you'll find the words in your sheet in front of you. Our vision. We envision the divine light awakening in all. Our mission. We center in peace and love. We connect in our hearts with others. We celebrate our journey toward wholeness, and we empower others to experience their spiritual magnificence. And so it is. And Karen Novi. Thank you.
And Andres.
And Andreas, yes.
Says darkness be the light, and if you're stuck in struggle, find some peace. When life brings you worry, search for hope. Be the seeds of change and watch love grow. Be the seeds of change and watch love grow. Kindness is a virtue, so they say. But sometimes life gets in the way. You never know the day So when all you see is darkness, be the light. And if you're stuck in struggle, find some peace. Or when life brings you worry, search for hope. Be the seeds of change and watch love grow. Be the seeds of change and watch love grow. Patience is a virtue, so take a breath and feel your heart expand, then decompress. The words you choose to use can break a heart or open up the door to a brand new start. Our time here on this planet's like a shooting star. The legacy we leave, it's bigger than we are. So when all you see is darkness, be that light. And if you're stuck in struggle, find some peace. When life brings you worry, search for hope. Be the seeds of change and watch love grow. Be the seeds of change and watch love grow. Be the seeds of change and watch love grow.
Beautiful, thank you. Beautiful song. I love the message. Just a beautiful message. Good morning, everyone. Hi. Hi. Yeah, we had a few of you. I see that we're here. We're at our place last night. We had a love feast, which was another fundraiser for UCP. Thank you for coming. And we have a few people here who really helped out and made it possible. My daughter, Juliet, and her boyfriend, Gianluca, and my husband. Thank you for helping out and making it possible. And thank you to all of you who showed up to support that. It was really a good time. All right, so we are continuing our focus, our study this week on the powers, the principles, the spiritual laws that we're discovering in this book, The Abundance Project by Derek Rydell. And just so you know, I am just a student of this, as you are. You know, we're learning this together, and it's all layers, you know, and as you practice it, you find another layer, and then you get that, and then you find another layer. And, you know, we're all growing together in this. So last week, we looked at the importance of the law of circulation, right? The law of circulation, how all of life works by this principle of circulation and working in cooperation and working in community. And I shared ideas about, you know, my breath, our breath, as we breathe and in and out, we circulate it, and the exhale goes, and the trees and the plants receive it, and it's their food, and in exchange, they return it as oxygen, and it keeps the flow going. Our blood circulates through the circulatory system in our body, and we can share our blood, you know, with somebody who needs it, who's on an operating table or something, and our body just makes more of it, you know. And I talked about how we were at the beach, and really I was just so moved by watching the tides roll in and out, the ebb and flow, and that cycle that is constant, that has been constant for, I don't know, millions, billions of years, who knows how long, and an entire shoreline ecosystem is dependent on that cycling. And how, you know, when we share our love with others, we notice maybe we have an increase in friends. When we share our energy in a positive way with others, we notice we have an increase of joy and fulfillment. So we trust that when we give, when we share, that life provides, because it does. And then we stretched our consciousness. We stretched it a little bit to include the possibility that this same law of circulation is also at work in our financial well-being. That when we give from our heart, when we give from our heart of our good, we circulate it out into the world, and it does good in the world, and then it circulates back to us as joy, as love, as an increase in abundance, right? And so then we looked at the 7 practices where we can put this principle to work in many different areas of our lives. And I gave you some homework. So, how many of you worked on the idea of giving away? Oh, good. Yes. Oh, good. This was clearing out like the physical junk in your junk drawer or in your garage or in your closet, like clearing that out. Good. Good to see. And how many of you worked on the idea of giving up? Which was, oh, good. Yes, a few of you. This is giving up the clutter in your inner junk drawer, like resentments and complaints and criticism and judgment and rigid opinions. Right? We're clearing that out. Okay. Good to see. And how many of you worked on the idea of giving to yourself? This was, oh, good. Some of the same people. Wow, you put this to work. That's great. This is the idea, the meditation that we did briefly last week and that was in the book, that if I loved myself completely, how would I treat myself? I really love myself. And how can I give to myself what I've been waiting for other people to give to me? Right? How can I give it to myself? All right, so we're continuing this week on exploring this law of circulation, but we're focusing on 3 distinct practices and principles that really can help us with inner peace, create more inner peace, to help us create more balance in our lives, and to really empower us in important ways. Right? And interestingly, these 3 principles are reflected in our offering affirmation. Anybody remember our offering affirmation? If you do, so let's say it together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I am. All right, so we're going to come back to that. We're first going to take each of these principles and look at them individually and see how they apply to our lives, and then we'll go back and see if we can find a connection with our offering affirmation. Okay, this is a powerful spiritual law. Powerful spiritual law. So the 3 ideas is, number 1, you can't give what you don't have. Number 2, you can't keep what you don't give. And 3, you can't sustain what you don't receive. All right, so this first idea of you can't give what you don't have. That's logical. Makes logical sense. If you don't have money, you can't give it. If you don't have food, you can't share it. If you don't have a car, you can't give somebody a ride, you know? But this also is true for intangible assets like love and devotion and commitment and energy and time and talent and energy, right? So if we don't have it because our inner stores have been depleted, right? We can't give it. But we still try, don't we? We try. And some people give and give and give and give and give in relationships, in work, in social work, in the world, whatever. A lot of people give and give when they're still, where the inner resources have been drained, have been exhausted, where it's empty, right? And that's not sustainable, is it? No. What happens eventually is that imbalance, right? That imbalance begins to manifest as chronic fatigue, depression, sometimes addiction, sometimes passive-aggressive behavior. You know, these things are very apparent. And here's the thing, you know, a lot of this stuff, we inherit it, right? from long ago, from sometimes our parents, our teachers, our preachers. We want to be good little boys and girls. We want to share our toys. We want to give, right? We want to help mommy, you know, and what happens is we get approval for that, right? We get approval, and then that continues, and sometimes that's a self-perpetuating loop of seeking approval, craving approval, right? And so, if that's not true for everybody, right? But if you can relate to this, right? It is time to give to yourself. It is time to fill your inner storehouse first, to learn how to fill that inner storehouse, and to embrace this sense of I'm worthy. You know, I'm worthy enough to give to myself, to really feel full so that I can give. And look, you're all here. You're doing it right now, being here. You know, you're receiving nourishment. You're open to receive spiritual nourishment. So that's part of it. So yay, good for you. We're on track, right? So, and also, as we talked about on the first week, this importance, we want to build a sense of having. This sense of having. And we can't do that when we feel depleted, when we feel like the tanks are empty, right? Can't do that. And so the reason we want to build this sense and embrace the sense of having is that it's a spiritual principle. And as we talked about that first week in that passage in Matthew, you know, that to those who have, more will be given, and they will have an abundance. And from those who don't have, even what they do have will be taken away. And you think, that doesn't make sense. It's cruel. But it's a spiritual law. It's a spiritual law because the universe just reflects back to us what we believe to be true about ourselves and how we're experiencing ourselves. So if we're experiencing ourselves as drained and depleted and the tanks are empty and that we don't have, that's the don't have basket, right? And that's what the universe is going to reflect back to us. And so we want to fill ourselves up first. We want to feel and build this sense of having by giving to ourselves. And I'm talking about mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, and you all know how to do it, right? You know what you can do that you feel self-nourishing, that you feel, fills you up, right? And it's just a reminder to do that. And to build this sense of having, Derek talks about in his book this idea of doing an exercise called night pages. And the night pages, the first step in the night pages, excuse me, I gotta take a drink of water. I have to nourish my throat here before I can give it anymore. So the night pages, or the first step on the night pages, is to write down everything that you have, both internally and externally. So whatever, and Pat's going, that's going to be a long list, right? Yeah. I mean, I think the first time you do it, you think of everything. Okay, I have a roof over my head, I have a car, I have food in my refrigerator, I have friends, I have a spiritual community, I have, whatever it is. I have wonderful music, and or I have talent. I have an ability to speak, or ability to play music, or ability to do wonderful math. I have this, right? And also the internal things like love, like I have maybe a sense of humor. That's a wonderful thing to have. I have patience, maybe. I have all of these internal things that you think that you can identify as having. You want to keep that. You want to write that down. And then also things that you have access to that you don't necessarily own, but you have access to, like a public library. We have a really fabulous public library in Chapel Hill, don't we? Yeah. That's available to us. We have really wonderful roads, very functional roads that are nicely landscaped. I have to say, when we moved to North Carolina, I thought, they really do take care of the landscaping of these. In Southern California, they were like, not necessarily, unless you're in Beverly Hills, and then, of course, it's very nice. But, most roads, no. So, I have access to that. You have access to a spiritual community, right? And friends and community. So you write down all of the things that you have access to and all the things you have. And this builds this sense of having. You're building and embracing a sense of having. Okay, so the second idea is you can't keep what you don't give. Can't keep what you don't give. Okay, so now that you have nurtured yourself, you've filled up your tanks, you've built this sense of having, you've embraced this idea of having because you have documented all the things that you do have. You come from a place of having. In order to keep that, we must circulate it. We must give it. This idea of we can't keep what we don't circulate. You want to keep that circulation flowing. Now, I talked a lot about circulation last week, so I won't belabor that, but I want to focus on one of the aspects here that he talks about, and this is about giving without agenda. In other words, not giving to get. Not giving to get. For example, acknowledgement, appreciation, love, a badge of honor, recognition, a gold star, right? We want to give unconditionally. And he says here, if you give for any reason other than just to give unconditionally, then you're manipulating and creating a greater sense of lack and separation. It's a manipulation, right? So we want to give because it's our nature to give. We're created that way. We are created to work in community, to work in cooperation with each other. That's how we're created. And when we're willing to be open, that divine can pour more of itself through us and really fulfill a higher purpose when we allow it. When we allow it. God bless you. All right. So this is true for both our financial gifts, our financial gifts, and also for things that we feel that we're not getting from someone else. To give what we feel we're not getting from someone else. So if we feel that we're not getting appreciation from someone else, we want to first give that person appreciation. If we feel like we're not being heard, we want to be willing to give the gift of listening. If we feel that we're not getting respect, we want to first give respect. And then watch as that relationship changes and shifts. Because you've started, you've put it into motion, you've primed the pump, you've started the circulation. That's, but the thing is, you don't want to do it for that reason. That's because that's conditional. That's manipulative, right? So this is very tricky. So you want to give because that's your nature to give. So again, this is difficult. And then we want to do baby steps here. Little baby steps. And just kind of take it a step at a time. How am I feeling about this? Am I giving from my heart just because that's my nature? Or am I giving to manipulate? It's really, really important for us to recognize and remember that. And so, ultimately, we want to give to life unconditionally in our relationships, in our work, in our community, in life. And remember the balance. At the same time, remember the balance of giving to ourselves, of nurturing ourselves, and keeping that dance. It's a dance. All right. So the third thing is you can't sustain what you don't receive. You can't sustain what you don't receive. So part of this is asking for what you truly want. Asking for what you truly want. And asking, loving yourself, appreciating and valuing yourself enough to ask to be paid what you're worth. And this, I have to say, is really important for women, isn't it? Because historically, culturally, the patriarchy, go Barbie. She's out there fighting the patriarchy for us. But it's historical. It's something we've had to, an internal fight. Even if it's not external, it becomes internal. So we want to make sure that we are empowered. And if you own your own business, if you own your own business, you want to love and value yourself enough to set your prices at an amount that reflects your gift. If there's something about, and a lot of us are in healing professions or holistic or giving or spiritual work, and there's something about just because it's a healing modality or we're sharing or we're giving or it's spiritual, we think we need to give it away. Like people are going to expect us to give it for free. Doctors don't feel that way. They're in a healing profession. They certainly value their work, and they charge a lot for it. And I'd be willing to say that many of us, what we offer is just as valuable, right? Maybe even more so, because it's holistic. We're a lot of us addressing the holistic mind, body, and spirit as opposed to just, treating the symptoms. Just saying. So, on another level, this is about loving and appreciating yourself enough to receive what's being given to you, to receive a compliment when someone gives it, to receive a smile when someone offers it, to receive help, support when someone is offering it, to really receive it. To love yourself enough to allow yourself to receive graciously because you're worth it, right? We're all worth it. And so we want to take a moment and receive it. And this is also true for all of the gifts that the universe has given us. All the beauty that's around us, all of the magnificence of life. We want to just take time and receive it. And receive. And be present to it. My sister was a master at this. Many of you know that I just lost my sister. And, she was 25 years my senior. She was much older than me. But in some ways, I was closer to her than I was my brother. We were very close. And she was a painter. An artist, a beautiful painter of big canvases, a beautiful, successful painter. But she lived life as an art form. You know, she lived life as an art form. The way that she spoke was an art form. The way that she shared stories was an art form. The way that she placed objects in her house with in conjunction with other things that you wouldn't necessarily think that those things go together. But, you know, like she creates this tableau, like say everywhere in her house you look, it's like a painting. You could put a frame around that, you know? It's a tableau. The way that she wrote a grocery list was artistic, was a work of art, you know? And she would talk to me and she would say, you know, Victoria, do you notice the light that's coming through this tree and how it changes when the sun changes? Do you notice, look at the shadow that this thing is casting on another object. Look at the shadow. And she would say, the negative space is just as important as the object itself. And over time, you know, she would say this over time, and it really stuck with me. And she changed me, you know, she changed the way I saw and the way I don't miss much, you know, just everyday, ordinary objects, just to look at them differently, just to see it differently, as an eye, with an eye of an artist. You know? And that's how we want to do. We want to see it. We want to receive it. That's taking time and noticing and receiving it. I mean, it's just so magnificent. If we don't take the time to receive it, it's just like the gift is wasted. Yeah. How many of you saw the Perseid meteor shower? A few people, yeah, I know it was late at night. But I have to tell you, it was totally worth staying up till 1 in.the.morning seeing that. Oh my God, it was just incredible how big the not comets, meteors, yes, Perseid meteor shower, that's it. Oh my God, they were so big. It looked like a comet because it was just so bright. So amazing in the sky. So we want to be there, be present, be available, and receive. Receive it all. Okay. Yeah. So again, the 3 ideas here are: you can't give what you don't have, you can't keep what you don't give, and you can't sustain what you don't receive. So let's see if we can break this down and look at it in connection with our offering affirmation. So the first part of that is divine love through me blesses and multiplies. So what is that? That's that life energy, that infinite, universal love that is moving through me, in me, as me. When I recognize that, that's the gift that is multiplied. That is what is being blessed. So what you appreciate appreciates. All right, so that's that part of it. All that I have. And we talked about this, all that I have. So now that I recognize that it's important for me to fill up the reserves, to nurture myself, to nourish and build a sense of having by documenting what I do have. All that I have, I'm recognized, I'm conscious of it, and that is what multiplies it. All that I give, right? Now that I have, I am giving. And when I give from my heart, unconditionally, without an agenda, to life, it blesses it, it multiplies it. Right? All that I give, all that I have, all I give, all that I receive. Now I know I am receiving. I am opening the channels to receiving. And I receive in this moment. I don't have to wait to receive. We're not waiting to receive something. It's all right here. We're just receiving. We're receiving all that's around us, and we're opening our hearts because we're giving. We're in that energy of circulation. We're opening up to receive totally. And acknowledging that is the thing that blesses it, the thing that multiplies it. And the last part is, and all that I am. All that I am. That's just completing the circuit and recognizing the holistic nature, my spirit, mind, and body, are engaged in this. All aspects of my body are engaged in this. Right? So when we're going to do this afternoon, or this morning, you're going to look at it differently, right? We're going to see it differently. You'll probably never say that again the same way, because now you know what it really means and what you're activating within you when you do that. Right? And it just blesses the whole community, blesses us forever. Right? Forever. All right, namaste.
That was good. Some songs more than others are kind of like downloads. And when I got this one, I thought to myself, oh, this is for your brother, Michael. So sweet. And then after a few years, I was like, no, that was actually for you also, and each one of us, right? The balance of giving and receiving, and knowing that love is here for you, and within you, and all around you. This is called Love is Waiting. I wish you joy, I wish you luck, I wish you faith, I wish you love. I hope you find the key to the door that opens up what you're looking for. There comes a joy seeing that these pieces all fit, the great reward of knowing yourself, your beauty, your gifts. I want to love, and I will receive all of these joys I've dreamt of. Dip my hand into the well, reaching all of this goodness that's waiting for me. Now love for yourself before love with another. Open your heart, see what you uncover, 'cause it's not too late to start to shed, to look within, to look ahead. We can make changes, We all have choices. Just raise your voice and say it out loud. Let it resound what you intend. Let me hear you say, I want love, and I will receive all of the joys I've dreamt of. And I dip my hand into this well, reaching all of this goodness that's waiting for me. Year after year, we build the walls, we build a fence, we build a moat. Layer by layer, we conceal ourselves off from the great source of forgiveness and love. Hey, love, you can't make changes, 'cause we all have choices. Just raise your voice and say it out loud. Let it resound what you intend. Oh, I want love, and I can receive all of the joys I've dreamt of. And I dip my hand into the well. I want love, and I will receive all of these joys I've dreamt of. And I dip my hand into this well, welcoming all of this goodness that's been waiting for me. It's waiting for me. Love is waiting for you. Love is waiting for you. Love is waiting. Love is waiting.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Andreas. That was beautiful. All the good that is waiting for me. I love that. Perfect segue from Victoria's talk, too. And thank you, Reverend Victoria. What else can I say? This is the moment of our service where we leap physically into that flow of circulation. It's our community. We are sustaining this community. It is so heartfelt, and I hope that each one of you here who is in this flow, sustaining Unity Center of Peace and all that it represents and all that it shares with the world, I hope you feel it. And from our perspective, the board, Victoria, and other leaders in the community, just thank you. So, for those of you online, there's a link where we would love and welcome your gifts. Thank you in advance. If you are visiting and would like it, or are giving cash or check today and would like a tax receipt, fill out the envelope with your name and information and put your money inside. If you're just giving from your heart today, then feel free to just shower the bowls with your gifts. And if you are part of our community as a sustainer and are sort of helping us plan and know what's coming and what we can expect and therefore what we can spend, hold your green card to your heart and with gratitude. let's say the affirmation. All right. So here we go. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I am.
We're going to sing I Am So Blessed as the offering song. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed.
Thank you. We are so blessed indeed. And doesn't it feel good to live in that energy of circulation? Oh, it feels so good to allow it to flow, to receive and to give and bless, knowing that your gifts, your tithes, your offering are indeed in this moment activated and multiplying right here before our eyes. And we are so grateful and just blessing this and knowing that it does return as you receive, as you're open to receiving, it returns to you in so many beautiful ways. And we say, thank you, Spirit, and so it is. Amen. And Mary's taking back the prayer request box and putting it on the foyer. So if you'd like your prayers prayed over during the service, just go ahead and fill out that request and put it in the box. And we pray over it in the service and also by the prayer team all month. All right. And so are there any new people who are joining us for the first time today? Yeah, I think I recognize all these faces here. Good to see you all here. I'm glad you're here. And if you're visiting online for the first time today, you found us online, welcome. We love having you. If you would just say, hey, I'm new today, and your name, and then our wonderful greeter, Mel, will share as much information as you'd like to have about our community. All right, we got one more song, Karanovi. All right, let's go.
We do indeed. This is a song called Big Love. That's what I call it, the big love. And there is a spark, a piece of this inside each of us, right? And I think when we remember it, we remember how magical and unique and magnificent we are as a piece, a spark of the big love of all of the universe and divinity. I believe it starts everything. All healing begins with self-love. The fog, it's burning off the grass. It's covered up with diamonds of dew. No matter how far I get, I just can't stop thinking about you. 'Cause you're the one true thing that I still want, and you're the one sure thing I really know. But what are you going to think? It's been a long time, I know. for me? And will our two hearts be in line? 'Cause you're the one true thing that I still want. Well, you're the one sure thing I really know. And you're the one true thing that binds us close, the one sure thing that we're lucky to know. Oh, it's called the big, big love, yeah. It's the only one. It's the reason, yeah, it's the big, big love. It's the only one. It's the reason to love and be loved. So I force myself to get up out of bed, walk out and get some fresh air. As I remember just how easily you filled my heart with love. 'Cause you're the one true thing that I still want. You're the one sure thing I really need. And it's the one true thing that binds us close, the one sure thing that we're lucky to know. Oh yeah, it's the big, big love. It's the only one. It's the reason. Yeah, it's the big, big love. It's the only one. It's the reason. Well, it's the big, big love. The only one. Yeah. It's the reason. Oh, it's the big, big love. Yeah. It's the only one. It's the reason to love and be loved. To love and be loved. Or to give and receive. To love and be loved.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Andreas.
Thanks, Andreas.
All right. So you may all have gleaned from the e-news and what you're about to hear. There's a lot going on, and it's starting in the month of September. And I really think that's because so many of you have leapt into this flow and are stepping into service and offering some really amazing opportunities for all of us. So first and foremost, we have a new artist in residence. You may notice these beautiful pastel paint drawings around the room. They are all for sale. Please take some time and have a look. And also on the back table are some prints of these same originals. So have a look, and if your heart is calling you, I know the artist, Daphne Boder, would be very grateful. And there will be an artist reception at the end of this month on September 24th, so we can actually hear from Daphne and understand her process, and sort of brings the art to life. So look for that. Thank you to Irena and Susan, right, for organizing this. They're really beautiful. Yeah, thank you. September 14th is our annual World Day of Prayer. It's a major event here at Unity. It has been forever. We will have a prayer vigil here from 7 a.m. until 7 p.m., and any of you can step into that flow by signing up for a 30-minute time slot in the lobby if you would like to come into the sanctuary on Thursday, the 14th of September, to pray. And then what's really lovely is at 7 p.m. on that Thursday, we're going to have an event that will start outside. It's called the Heart of Healing. It's a evening service. The Heart of Healing will start outside in our sacred space outdoors, and then we'll finish inside in the sanctuary. So it's going to be really special, and I hope to see you all. And again, sign up in the foyer or go on the website and sign up there. Our very own Cheryl Stevens, sister, a board sister for me, has just completing her really extensive training on the Enneagram, which is we're going to actually look for Cheryl's video on social media in the next week or so, and we're going to have her up to speak about it on another day as we get closer to this event, which is Saturday, September 23rd. It's a 3-hour training here in the sanctuary for us all to better understand at a deeper level how we can live in ways that are our authentic self and why we are the way we are and how we express. Also on the website, also on the QR code on your little bulletin here. Our very own beautiful Karen Novi is actually sharing a one-day whole women's retreat here called Your Voice and Voyage. And it will be with her partner and friend Lynn Kuntz. It's a day for us to come together in all sister energy for renewal, for connection, and for healing. So again, QR code is here, or go onto the website to sign up or have a look on the back table. The 3-Minute Miracle is down the hall on the left. And today our prayer partner is Mel, who is online right now hosting all of our online guests. Hi, Mel, and thank you. Mel will see you at the back, in the back room on the left, if anyone would like to pray with a trained, beautifully hearted prayer partner. So Nathan, our very own Nathan, we're gonna keep it short, but come on up, is interested in giving. Has been talking about this for a long time and has presented the topic, raising spiritually minded children. Just to give a background, Nathan graduated this spring from UNC with a doctorate in psychology, so he is well qualified. Congratulations. And perhaps you can just share a little bit about what you're thinking.
Yes, pull that. So yeah, I have this idea of bringing together kind of a workshop/discussion group on raising spiritually minded children. I study developmental psychology, and I'm a parent of 3, and I know that studying something doesn't necessarily make you an expert in it. I have lots of questions, and I find that finding a community of people who also have questions about these topics can be very helpful, but also understanding theories and research from developmental psychology can also be very helpful in shaping this. So I'm not imagining this as any type of lecture or advice-giving session, because nobody would want that, and I'm not qualified to give that. But I want to organize this discussion based on questions that you might have, and organizing it ahead of time so that I could look up research or ideas or theories from psychology that might be helpful in guiding this, and then bringing people together to organize and bring together all of our own collective expertise and experiences and building that community. So it's not on the schedule yet, that's why it's not in the program. But if this is something that you think you'd be interested in and you have a minute after the program, if you could come and see me, I want to ask just about kind of days of the week, timing, length, and things, so that way I can hopefully find a time that will work for everybody, or at least most people who would be interested in it. And I also envision it being open to anybody. You don't have to be a parent, you don't have to have children at home, but anybody, you might have children close to you, work with, educate children, or if you're just interested in it, then anybody would be welcome to it. So again, see me afterward, and then hopefully in the next week or so I can get an actual date and then more information for you to sign up. So yeah.
Thank you. Wonderful. Can you just ask, just after the service, if you don't mind? Okay, well, after. Thank you. You can talk to him. Thank you very much. The other thing that isn't on my announcements, but we have a picnic coming up. We haven't done a picnic for a couple of years. Middle of September, September 16th, our very own Mel and her wife Jude are organizing this. They love to do this. And please, if you're a longtime member, a new member, a visitor, just come to that day at Jordan Lake. It's super fun. It's in here, and you can sign up for that too. So don't miss that. That's really a fun one. And September's so beautiful. Nice time to be outdoors together. So many things. Today, our flower angel is our very own Anne-Marie. Anne-Marie, raise your hand if you would. Thank you so much, Anne-Marie. Aren't they beautiful? And today the flowers are in dedication to all, it's to us, to all the loving, joyful members of UCP. Yes. You're here. Thank you, Anne-Marie. They're beautiful. All right. You asked, we listened. A feedback box. Yeah, so this has been in discussion for a long time. This baby is going to live on the back table, and we welcome your feedback. We cannot guarantee we are going to implement everything that goes into this box. But we will, if you put your name here and your contact details, we will acknowledge you, and we will get back to you and keep you posted about what's going on in that specific area. So fill this baby up. Let's go. It's our community. We're doing it together. No deeper dive discussion today because we have an in-person book study meeting here. If you want to jump into the Law of Circulation, Chapter 4, with me and a group of really heart-centered, amazing people who we've been studying together, you're so welcome. And if not, maybe with Rev Victoria tomorrow night online. Oh, and tomorrow night is actually, Derek Rydell is joining the call, and we'll be doing a live coaching session. So if you haven't done anything but would like that information, you can
Let me know and I'll send
talk to Reverend Victoria, and she'll give you the email, right? And for those of you who don't want to do that, but want to go outside and eat cookies and drink coffee, the Sacred Cafe is happening as usual, and that's a really nice time for us to just hang out, so. And I think that is it. So with that, oh, and one other thing I just want to say, with school going back, I know there are some people, and with an increase in viruses and so forth, not everybody's comfortable holding hands at this moment. So could I say that if you prefer to just place your hand over your heart, you're sending a gentle, loving message to those who, might want to hold hands, and that we just honor each other's body language in this one, and when we stand for our final song. I think that's just a respectful thing to do. So thank you. All right, what do I do now? Here come the kids. Yes, come on in. Sorry, gang.
Good morning. How y'all doing? Good. I'm Shannon. I'm the youth YFM director. Another lively discussion happened today about where the 12 powers reside in our body, mind, and spirit. It was fun. This one we added something new, was imagination. So that was like, where is it in the body? Well, no, it could be in the mind, could be in the spirit. So it was good, lively, and then we had fun. Eli kicked everybody's butt in Connect 4. So. Next week, if you would like to come and challenge him, we are looking for volunteers. See, that's kind of fun we have up there. So, and a big thanks to Stephanie for stepping in, and we enjoy having the kids. So thank you for bringing them. All right.
So we'll bless these children, the children within all of us, the children in the world. We love you. We bless you, we appreciate you just the way you are, and we behold the Christ in you. Mwah. And so if you'll now stand, thanks guys, you can go join your parents if you'd like. And together we'll stand, and on our sheet here we'll share the prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.